What's up everyone? How are you all doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic as always. Now I'm gonna save you the BS. Obviously you guys clicked on this video because you want to see the wheels mounted on my car. This is not technically a new setup. Well, it's new to this car, but not new to my M4s in the past. Obviously this is the former wheel setup that I had on my last M4 and I just transferred it over. So we're gonna cut straight into a little montage of how this wheel and tire setup looks on my current Alpine White M4. Then following that, I'm gonna be diving into some of the specs as well as some of the information that you guys are probably gonna wanna know about this specific setup. After that, I'll be diving into some future plans regarding these wheels and just wheels and tires in general for my M4. And then we're gonna be installing a few minor cosmetic mods for the M4, courtesy of my friends over at BMW M-Power 24/7. That's just gonna be in the form of a new badge and a push to start button. I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. So please make sure to smash the thumbs up button on this video as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel down below if you have not done so already. Your support means the world, guys. Let's get right into it. And there you guys have it. The Volk Racing ZE40s with the RS3S tires are mounted onto my car. Like I said previously, and like many of you know that have been subscribed for a while to my channel, you guys know that this was the former wheel and tire setup that was on my Silverstone F82. And now I just decided for fun I was going to transfer it over to this car, and to be honest I really like the look of it. I just love the ZE40 design. It's also a very strong wheel, it's lightweight, 18-inch, fully forged. Volk Racing also has a very prestigious and reputable name in the wheel industry, and their applications in motorsport and racing have been quite thorough to say the least. Just to give you guys a quick rundown on the specs, the wheels, it's a square setup, so it's 18 by 9.5 with a 20mm offset. Now, I know for some of you that are pretty familiar with wheel and tire options on this platform, this isn't particularly ideal for the F8X, but the reason I have these is because I got a killer deal on them, and it's not a track setup. As of now, it's just a street setup, something just more so for looks, and because the offsets are very aggressive, I don't even need to run a spacer. I am running a 275 by 40 by 18 squared tire setup on the car, so the sidewalls are quite beefy, and I'm actually going to elaborate on that in just a bit in terms of what I'm going to be doing in the future regarding my tire setup. But overall, like I stated, I like these wheels a lot. They were, initially I was thinking of like selling them and then just maybe going for something else altogether, but I mounted them to the car and I was just doing some thinking, I like these wheels so much that I'm gonna keep them on the car personally. I'm just really happy with the way they look. Like I said, got a great deal on them too, so it's just, I don't think I'd be able to find a deal like that again in the future on a set of Volk Racing wheels. So in terms of the suspension setup, to get that fitment right, I am lowered on KW V3 suspension. I'm running a Swift linear spring up in the front, Eibach linear springs in the rear with ground control camber plates as well. I'm running like -2.5 degrees of camber up in the front. And overall, that's kind of how this setup has come together. Now, in terms of what I plan on doing in the future with these wheels is actually going to be a little bit different. Now, I think some of you will agree with me. I think I went a little bit overboard in terms of the sidewall on these tires. I think the 40 is a little too meaty. So I'm going to drop down to a 275 by 35 by 18 square setup. And then in addition to that, I also plan on getting these refinished in gloss black. Now, some of you guys I know I'm sure are gonna really like the bronze and will probably want me to keep that. But for me, I really like just the pure sinister aggressive look of, you know, white on black and just that contrast and overall theme that I'm going for, especially with a lot of the carbon fiber accents, I think is going to look really, really killer. So I'm hoping to do that in the near future. Get some new tires on there. I'm gonna drop the tread wear rating on it too, so we can get some nice grip. coming from these tires for, you know, driving through back roads, canyons, whatnot. And then the gloss black I think will look sweet on, you know, the M4, especially considering it's Alpine White with carbon roof. Once I do that, I also plan on lowering the car additionally, probably by another 5 to 8 millimeters all around, I'd say, just to really get the fitment dialed in on this car. And I really love the way that the BMW M cars look when they're just really nice and low to the ground. I think they just look really menacing and they have a really nice stance to them. And because of that, I really want to just have that perfect aesthetic with this car. So can't wait to get all that done, and I mainly just wanted to update you guys on, you know, what's going to be going on, particularly with the wheels, the tires, suspension, just how this car is going to sort of all come together in the relatively near future here. So stay tuned. I cannot wait to share more with you guys. I also have a ton of other cosmetic parts that I have planned for this car and a bunch of other track-related performance-focused mods for the interior and the exterior of the car. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the installation of the gloss black badge and the red push to start button. Relatively trivial cosmetic items, but nevertheless, it's the small things that always make the biggest difference. You guys know that very, very well, and I'm gonna show you all how to do it in just a bit. So this is what they sent me, this little box right here. I'm not gonna show the front because it has all my personal info on the sticker, but let's just open it up. And we can see, like I said, nothing crazy. There's some protective packing, but have a blacked out M4 badge right over here, which is definitely something I wanted for this car. Pretty much all the chrome is almost eliminated, minus these side gills on the front fenders. That's pretty much the only thing I have left to do at this point. And something really small as well, which is this red engine start stop button. So nothing crazy, but you know, two little things that I think make a big difference in terms of the overall visual look on the car. So let's go ahead and install them. If you guys hear a lot of pattering outside, it's because it's literally raining. I'm in the garage, but the garage door is open in order to make room for my lighting equipment. So sorry about that, but I think my voice should come on camera pretty decently. Now, to go ahead and take off this badge, the first thing we're actually going to do, and I got this idea from Keys Motorsports. He has a great DIY on how to replace these badges and do it really easily, but as you guys can see, I have some masking tape right here, and basically what I'm going to do is mask off the outline of the badge. That way I know exactly where to place the new one once I take this original one off. Couldn't locate any twine. I tried using dental floss, that ripped immediately, so I found a little bit of wire right here. Camera's not focusing, but regardless, it seems to be doing the job, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so our surface is now prepped, and all we need to do is just remount the badge. So this is why we have the tape. It gives us a perfect outline and border so that we know exactly where that badge is going to be going. Here it is. These black badges are so aesthetically pleasing. I don't know if that sounds weird, but I'm just going to go ahead, peel this off as easy as possible. Perfect. Now, here is our M. Alright everyone, so next up we are going to install this little button. As I showed you guys previously, my camera keeps going out of focus. It is the most frustrating thing. I don't know why it's doing that, but let's just dive right into it without wasting any more time. Alrighty everyone, I do apologize. I know the lighting is not the best at the moment. It is nighttime. This is the only time I just have available to film lately just because of my work schedule. But basically, a lot of people use a pry tool. I don't have one of those, so I'm just going to use this flathead. I'm just going to be a little extra careful not to damage the trim that surrounds it. But you do have your little like ignition start-stop button unit thing. And basically, just kind of wedge the flathead in. And it comes out pretty easily. Again, just be careful. You don't want to like damage anything. But here it is. I think I just got it. Yeah, there it is. And this whole little unit pops out. Then there's a little clip, and I forget how this comes out. Looks like there's just some tabs that you press on, and yeah, it just comes right out. So there's two tabs, one on either side, and that's all you gotta do. It's pretty straightforward. So this next part took me a little bit of time to figure out, but I finally figured out what you need to do. So if you look closely, you can see these little black tabs. There's just a few located throughout the surround itself. And all you need to do is just basically pry these open. So go ahead, just use my little stubby flathead. Just sort of like pop these off, basically. Let's see here. There goes one. There's another. They are plastic, so you don't want to like break them. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to be completely honest, guys. That was a major struggle. I had to do that off camera, but I will demonstrate now. Just got the button out. These stupid little prong things, you just got to push them like inward and then press out. And what I did was I used a, where is it? Right here, little mini flathead. And I kind of like held it in on one side, and then I took this little pick tool and then used the other side at the same time, pressed them together, and it just popped right out. So that ended up working no problem. And now we are at the final piece. And what we're going to be doing now is just taking our little button right here and pretty much just going to reinsert it. Like that, pops right into place. And we are good to go. Time to reinstall. Alrighty, so here we have it. Just gotta get the little connector. There we go. Sensors back in. Flip this back around. That is going to do it for today's video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. Please make sure to go ahead and smash that like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Of course, the links to those specific parts that I installed in the car today will be in the description box down below, so make sure to check out BMW M-Powered 24/7 and make sure to go ahead and cop some parts from them as well, because I was really impressed with the quality of everything. With all that being said, I'll catch you all in the next one.